Hello, my friend. I am Anmol Srivastava. Today, I am going to speak on a topic that should the corporate jobs are slavery for employees or not. He is my friend, that is Ashish Srivastava, and I will be speak on for the topic, and he will speak on against the topic. In my point of view, corporate jobs are real slavery for any employees because it is one of the toughest jobs because it requires a long working hours. It requires a ample of time, it requires your most of the energy. You have to sacrifice and put most of your energies that you have gained during your night sleep, and after this you don't have a time to develop yourself. You don't even have a time to enjoy your life. You don't have a time to go here and there to visit anywhere. Means you can forget your own life. You can only devote yourself on the only desk and table, and you can only see the computer or laptop. So that is the life of person who is doing a corporate job. So I want to say that corporate jobs are the real time taking job in this world, because today's scenario, the corporate jobs are expecting more and more from any employees. They just only want for a profit motive. They don't consider an employee as a human beings. They consider the employee as a robots and machine. Employers want to pay very less to employees who work for a corporate job, but in the return they want a ample of work from an employee. They don't consider the personal interest and personal life of employee. They
No.
just only consider their own interest.
Actually, I want to say that in my point of view, corporate jobs are the basis of the life of the people who have gained some sort of a skills, who are being made to, who are being trying to get employed to somewhere in some corporate or other. The first thing you have said about the desk jobs, so I made you to understand that corporate jobs are not just limited to the desk job. They are also the field jobs, and they are quite interesting because in field job you meet different kinds of the people. You meet to the customers on their their personal venue, and some other sort of things are there. So it is very interesting to do that. And apart from this, I want to say that government has made some of the labor rules, and the corporates and the companies, they have to follow that type of rules, because if they do violate that type of rules, that is against the working of a company. And if they are violating the rules, then it is okay that they can be treating that their employees as a slave. But if they are not, then they are actually following the guidelines given by the company. And it is very obvious that if you are having your company, if you own a company, then your motive is to get profit from it. You are not there to sell out everything. So they are getting the profit. They are not doing the right thing, but it is also necessary, and they are doing that. They are making the judicious use of the skills of the employees, because when you do the job, you are enhancing your skill, because job enhances your skills, your management skills, your technical skills, your personal interaction, your communication skills, and all sort of things are increased by the corporate jobs.
Actually, as per as the research that is conducted in a USA, it has been said, and it has been found out that the personal development and growth of any person can only be achieved if he enjoy the work. If he don't consider the work as a headache, if he don't consider the work as a burden, then only his mental development is possible. But what happens in a corporate job? Corporate job extremely time taking job. It requires a ample of working hours. Employees get bored, and he feels stressed to work in a corporate environment due to rigid and strict guidelines and regulations. So he don't have a time to for a personal development and to think on own self. I have many friends who keep on complaining, who keep on regretting that, oh, I don't have a time to enjoy my personal life because I keep on working from morning to evening, from morning to till night, and overtime, and return he will get such a meager amount of money. So most of the person keep on regretting that. But I have heard many of the government employees also. They say that no, I'm enjoying their life because my duty is between only 10 to 5 a.m. and in between that I also have a proper time to talk with employees. I have a proper time to have a lunch and have a refreshment. So their life is somewhat very interesting, and their job is somewhat very interesting. So that's the difference between the work of a corporate environment, that you can say the private sector, and in the government sector. So I want to ask you that what can be happened if this will continue in a coming generation also.
Actually, you have talked about the state of the mind of the people who are doing the corporate jobs. Suppose you have talked about that the people I mean heard that some sort of people who are doing the corporate jobs, they are saying that I'm feeling stressed, I'm feeling overloaded, there is lot of working hours, I cannot be able to make the time. These are the excuses actually, because if you are a temperament, if you are a man of a good cool temperament, then you would be easy to handle these things, because there is work everywhere. If you don't want to do the corporate jobs, suppose you move on the business. In the business section, there is also a lot of work, there is also of load, there is also a mental pressure among the owners and the employees, because in the business your motive is to create the profit from your commodities. So on that case, there is also a sort of a pressure you cannot ignore. And coming to your point that the people who are feeling depressed and that type of states, overloaded and over, so it is also happening in all states of the mind. If you are doing the work, there must be some sort of mistakes from you, and then you have to be sometimes there would be a deadlines, so you have to pressurize. So it is all there, you cannot ignore the challenges of the work. And I want to say that a job without challenge is not a job. It is only a simple thing, that it is a routine of the life. So people don't need to take the tension, because every Sunday you get relief. It is not like that Sunday you have to go. Some people have to go, but I'm talking about the general. They don't have to go to Sunday. Other in the festivals, they are also getting the leave. In the jobs, they are getting sort of bonus, and all the things are happening. So they don't need to think much about the corporate problems, because problems are everywhere. You cannot ignore the problems, but you can find a solution, and you can, by your cool and positive attitude, you can be able to handle the jobs very quickly. And last point that I want to say, you have talked about the government sector, that in the government sector it is very easy to do that job, and people are having the less amount of work and they are enjoying the job. Actually, I want to say that it is not so when you go into the deep, because think about the policemen. Policemen are not performing the great duty, they are performing a great duty. They have to work for a lot of time.
Whatever you are speaking is somewhat right, but it is all over in the developed countries. Actually, in developing countries like India, the state of a corporate job is not so good, because what happened actually in India, there is abundance of a labor, because due to population there is abundance of labor, and literacy level is also increasing. So what happened that most of the persons getting educated day by day and day, so there is abundance of labor, and there is a shortage of a skilled labor, but there is a overabundance of that labor who have little skills or somewhat have no skills. So actually those who have a little skills or somewhat no skill, these are the persons who are really get exploited by the contractors, by the laborers also, because they don't have a proper skills. So those who have a good proper skills, they are not getting so much exploited. And another thing that I want to say, that in our country, in our country like India, the corporate jobs are demand very demand specializations. For example, if you are a belongs to a, if you have a background of a accountant, or for example, if you have an engineering background, and what happen after entering, after having entering in a organization, after doing job, employer will expect you that you should work as a team of a digital marketer. Means you have to work to make a content, and you have to work to sell the products, and you have to work for to sell the product online and doing advertisement and all sort of thing. So it means that you are not doing your work according to your specializations, because whatever you hold your specialization, employer told you that you have to work on those specialization which I am telling you, and you have to learn this thing. Otherwise, you will be terminated from your job. You will be eliminated. So that is the problem in India, because there is a lot of unemployment is there. Because labor think that, person think that no, it is better to learn new skills and to do new job instead of having been terminated from the job. So this is the main reason for the exploitation of a labor. They don't have a choice. They have their own families, and neither they have and they don't have such a good financial background. So they are being exploited from a long time, and it is because the current corporate sector in our country is not so good. The employer can expect anything from you to do
Actually,
that work. है ना? So for example, if you have a specialization, if you belong from a CA background, and after work you apply for any position of a company, then after 2 or 3 months, after 2 or 3 years, your employer will tell, no, you have to check how the packaging of the product is being done on the particular store. So it is somewhat a low standard job according to your qualifications and skills, but you have to do that job because you have to earn.
no.
So that is the main problems in our corporate sector.
Actually, as you have said about the CA job, that is a chartered accountant. So it is not like that a company will be saying that to a CA that you have to go and check for the stock, because it is a work of the manager. It is a work of the marketing specialist person. It is a work
I
of
know.
the. So you cannot make a CA to send it to there. CA is made to audit in some companies, in some sort of factories they have to go. So either their work would be some level low or some level high, but you cannot. It is right that you cannot exploit them, like you said, him to check the stocks. So it is not happening. So, but
No, but it is happening. It is a today's generation, today's case. It has been happening in organizations also.
I want to say to you that you talk about the India. India, it is right that there are a lot of people who are, less skilled, who are in the, they belong to the work of low skill. Some people are doing the work of laborers are more in their number. They are having the less money to invest. All factors are right, but you think about the person who is having a little money, how he can be able to invest that money in the business. So business cannot be made a good option for a person who is having a poor less money. Although the government is making some good sort of schemes of taking loan and making yourself independent, it is also a good choice. I cannot ignore that point of choice. But I can say that if you are not able to do the business, and so it is the best option to do the job, because even if you are less skilled, some corporates and some companies, they are accepting you, and they are giving you some sort of training to enhance your skills. And as you talk about that, if a person knows some skills and he is said to learn other skills, so it is it is happening in company, and it is very natural phenomenon, because era is changing. You have to update yourself. Without updating yourself, you cannot be able to work in the corporates. You cannot be able to work for the development of the nation. Another thing that comes into an act is that learning of the skills. Our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has launched a program of the Skill India. In that program, there is a provision that you can be able to learn some sort of skills. Either they can be not very professional, but you would be able to learn and earn
So
some sort of money.
actually the main problem is that na, for example, you have pursued your BTech program in IT sector, and after being having a job from 1 or 2 years, then organization in which you are currently working, that organization will tell, any employer will, your boss will tell, no, you have to do a sales job, so as to sales my product. So it is not your work, but you are expected to do that. And if you not do that, then results may be not good for you. So that is a other problem in a corporate sector.
No, no, actually not like that, because if you are belong to such a good IT background which is having a lot of scope in the today's era, you would be able to get the jobs according to your choice. Because in the IT sector, there is a job. If you go in a corporate, you would be getting the job suitable to your skills, your post, and after that, you are saying that somebody would say you to sell the product. So it would not be happening, because if it would be happening, you are so much skilled that you can be able to employ your skills to sell the product. Like in the digital marketing we are talking about, in the digital marketing it is same to sell the product, but how it is making the use of the IT skills. So it is also an important factor, where challenges are everywhere, but it is up to you how you find an opportunity in a challenge. It is a great thing. So it is very right. And another thing that I want to say, that there are a lot of work you can be able to do the work from your home, because not a good infrastructure is needed always. You can be able to do some freelancing jobs, you can be able to make some projects. So there are a lot of field in the IT jobs. So leaving this topic, I am coming to the point that you are talking about that there is a great sort of training in the training and great sort of job in the corporate jobs. They are making their good training. So isn't you think about the soldiers who are working so much, who are getting a hard training, who are doing the in duties in the summer, in the winter, in all the seasons. They are in the mountains, they are in the rivers, they are in everywhere. They are performing the duty. Can you compare their duty of the soldiers with the duty of a corporate? It is not a little bit of it.
No, you are not going according to your topic. I am just only saying that I am not comparing the corporate job with any soldiers, and it is
Yes.
not right to compare with them.
Yeah.
But I want to only say that what happened actually in India, actually in developed countries also, at 70% of the laborers work in unorganized sectors. Means you can say that small or medium enterprises or new startups. So what happened in a big organizations like MNCs? They have a good and flexible working hour. They have their proper meal time, and they also pay a good amount of sum to employees. They have everything good. For example, like you can say that like Tata or Reliance or Wipro.
Google, Microsoft,
Google,
IT
Microsoft.
companies are there.
So there are abundance of them. But what happened that what are the about the other companies who like startups, or you can say that newly formed companies, small companies. So mostly laborers employed only on these companies. So these companies don't have a good working hours. I mean they exploit their laborers. They have a long working hours. They also pay little amount, and they do not provide any paid leaves. They do not provide any leave travel concessions and other benefits to their employees. So those employees are
Actually,
getting
I
exploited.
made
So
you to-
that is the main problem in India. But actually, if you talk about the developed nations, so most of the companies in developed nations are in a big sector, and they provide a good working hour in their country. But that case is not applied to our country also.
Actually, I made you to understand the difference between the MNC companies and the new startups. Because MNC companies have been settled up well, so they have some sort of good reputation. They have some sort of good world class culture. Their working culture is quite good. So it is happening that they are very systematic, and they are providing the paid leaves and all the facilities they are doing. That is right. But if you talk about the startups, there is a lot of challenge there, because to establish a startup you need a lot of good working force. You need a lot of good strategy and plan and some other sort of things. That is another I mean beyond our scope. But I want to say that in these startups and in these small companies, there is a great challenge to move forward, to develop themselves, and that is why somewhat they are inflexible in their rules, and it is happening. But even after this, they are following the guidelines of the government, they are following the labor rules. They can, if they are exploiting, it is a case of a crime, it is a case of it is a case to punish them. But it is not a routine, and it is not a scene of all the companies. Even they are very small in the scale, they are providing the good facilities to the, if they are not be unable to provide the good facilities, but they are not such a inflexible in their schedules and like that, what you can say. And another thing is that the people who are having the less skill, they cannot be able to easily get job in some big sort of companies, in big MNCs. So they are absorbed by these MNCs. So it is also a part of a balance, because if these small companies are not there, they cannot be able to get absorbed, get employed, they cannot be able to earn a money. So it is also a good sort of thing that they are working. But it is right that they do not exploit themselves, which is very right.
No, so that what I want to say, that I cannot say that that startup don't have a don't have a good life, don't provide a good lifestyle to their employees, or I cannot say that corporate do not provide a good benefits in terms of a monetary benefits or other compensation to their employees. But on the other hand, it is also true that corporate job is not so much as easy as compared to other job like government job or other job, because due to long working hours and due to low wages, especially for the entry level jobs or for a freshers candidates. So there's problems. I know that there's a problems in a entry level corporate job also. But I want to say, my friend, that you have to face something. You can consider it as a struggle, but keeps on learning new skills, keeps on learning new things, and don't be demotivated by this.
Keep on updating yourself.
Don't be demotivated by this, because one or another day you will definitely get benefit of that.
Yes.
I cannot say that corporate job is not good, but it is somewhat challenging job. And if you can bear it initially, if you can, if you don't lose your hope initially, then you will certainly reap certain benefits in the future.
Yes, and you would acquire a good sort of experience too.
Because in corporate job, experience counts some more. And after you have more and more experience,
You would be getting high quality or high paid jobs.
So that is the main thing.
Yes.
So initially there may be some sort of hard work and struggle, but you will.
After that, you would be able to enjoy the life. You would be able to see the beauty of the corporate jobs too. So
And
that
keep on learning new skills.
keep on learning new skills and keep on learning, updating yourself. I would again say keep on. Taking the challenges. It is also very right. So thank you to my friends. Thank you and more. And I want to all my listeners that they must comment their views in the about this topic, and what are their views. Have they liked our conversation and all about it. So thank you to all my listeners. Goodbye.